Many of you have more than likely heard of sombreros, mariachis, polka music, tamales, tacos, folklores, and loud people before. These aspects of culture have been a part of my life ever since I've entered this world. The rich Mexican culture has been the center point of my life and continues to guide how my family and extended family live on a daily basis. After conducting an in-depth speech with my grandpa Robert Garcia, I learned that my family is very deeply connected with that of the Mexican culture. He addressed to me many of the unique qualities of the culture he has been a part of throughout his life. Today I will be informing you all on the Mexican culture and unique traditions carried on in Mexico, and this is where it is on the map. After hearing this speech, you all would have learned about the different Mexican foods, holidays, family values, and their strong religious beliefs. One aspect of the Mexican culture that makes it different from many other cultures is the types of food one eats. In the country of Mexico and households with those who are carrying on the Mexican culture, the people prepare and eat different foods from that of a typical American meal. Mexico possesses an extensive and sophisticated cooking culture with a large variety of regional dishes. The three most common dishes found on Mexican tables across the globe are corn, beans, and hot peppers. Coming from a Mexican culture, our family still continues these traditions on by having these items in mainly every meal. Much of the sophistication of Mexican foods is the wide use of hundreds of different chilies. These range from anything being hot to sweet, such as the sweet chili ancho and chili habanero. According to an article written by Ernesto Hernandez Lopez, corn is a product that has centuries of cultural significance to the people of Mexico. Corn is then used as the main ingredient as one of the most popular Mexican dishes, the tortilla. Although this is the case for many tortillas, you can make the masa, or dough of the tortilla, with flour. My family uses flour as the primary ingredient in all of our tortillas. These tortillas are then used to make other more popular dishes such as tacos and quesadillas. The largest meal of the day comes between 2 and 4, which is called la comida, or as we call it, the supper. At this meal, the people munch on various Mexican dishes such as soup, rice, refried beans, and a meat chicken accompanied with a tortilla of some sort. They then follow up with a meal between 8 and 10 at night, which consists primarily of drinks and desserts, with the more popular being beer and sweet rolls. In the end, the Mexican culture strongly values their unique foods and eating those foods as a family if one has one. Another aspect of Mexican culture that is far different from all the other cultures is the holidays they celebrate on a yearly basis. These special holidays are celebrated in Mexico and by the people of the Mexican culture today to exemplify their ancient Mexican traditions. These days are also used to show respect to the struggles that the ethnic people of Mexico have faced throughout history. A few examples of the different holidays that the people of Mexico celebrate are the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, El Dia de los Muertos, or other words known as the Day of the Dead, the Cry of Dolores, and Cinco de Mayo. According to a tweet by Ernest Macias, El Dia de los Muertos takes a different approach to death by celebrating the death of a loved one rather than mourning it. This goes to show how unique and different the Mexican culture is from every other country in the world. Many people mourn the death of their loved one, which is a perfectly normal response to death. However, Mexicans have taken a unique approach to death and celebrate it rather than mourn it. The Mexican holiday traditions are a part of the many different cultural facets that help to make the Mexican culture special. There are also many more that contribute, such as the family aspect. Another important characteristic of the Mexican culture is the family values they have passed on from generation to generation. Although many families across the globe are more centered around their nuclear family, the mother, father, son, daughter, Mexican families focus more on their extended families. Despite the fact that they may live far away from their extended families, Mexican people are always seeking opportunities to bring everyone together. For example, during the interview with my mother, Heidi Loins, she told me of several occasions on how all of her cousins and herself would get together on holidays to spend time with one another. She talked about how everyone always got together during Christmas and when quinceañeras happen. My brother and I always joke around with her because we are unaware of who our cousins actually are, because there are so many. To give an example, there are 3 Marseilles in one nuclear family, and me and Jacob are not able to distinguish them. However, in the case of my mom, she can very easily list off all of her cousins that she's grown close with over the years. This is because of her strong family traditions. In an article written by Catherine Ziders, she addresses the idea of familialism, which is an individual's identification with and attachment to his or her family. On top of this, she also talked about how familialism is a core value of the Mexican culture. This idea helps us to further support the idea of how the people of Mexican culture strongly value their families and their traditions. Strong family ties is another aspect of the Mexican culture that is unique from that of most cultures. However, there are still other areas of life that they focus on, with their main focus being on religion. Religion is the most important area of a Mexican's lifestyle. Most Mexicans believe and practice ideas of the Catholic religion. These are religious ceremonies or masses held in every major event in a Mexican person's life, like birth, death, and weddings. Mexicans also celebrate many Catholic holidays such as Easter, which is considered the most important of all, Guadalupe's Day, and Christmas. For example, Mexicans follow and practice the religion of Roman Catholicism, where they worship one God. The Messiah, Virgin Mary, who is considered the patron saint, and the disciple Peter are all examples who are associated with Roman Catholicism. According to an article done by Noreen Glover, Mexicans value religion to the point that they believe certain rituals can resolve life-threatening illnesses, and how religion is the focal point that brings families together. Many often will pray to the gods and do spiritual-related activities to help fix their issues. This topic is another one of the many different aspects of Mexican culture that help to make it unique. Today I provided you all with a brief description of the different facets of the Mexican culture that I've been a part of my whole life. Through this speech you have learned some of the special holidays, family traditions, and religious values that are associated with the Mexican culture. Thank you.
Think about it. How many ways can you say hello? I think of many. Hey, howdy, hi, hello, hola, and bonjour. But one that never really crosses my mind is hallo, which is German, the German way of greeting someone. Today I'm going to tell you about my personal interviews with my family members, how Germany comes into play, and what the main holidays, well-known foods are, and the style of dress are in Germany. First of all, I started this project with interviews with my parents. I chose to interview my dad and my mom. While interviewing them both, I found out a few fun facts about them both. With my dad, I found out that his side of the family, the Witt side, was German and came from Germany. I also found out that he grew up in a Republican household and was of Lutheran religion. Also, because money was very tight, my dad and his 3 siblings contributed to the housework. On the other hand, I found with my mom that her dad's side of the family, the humble side, was Navajo Indian. I also found out that she grew up in a Republican household and was of non-denominational religion. Because money was very tight, my mom took care of her siblings and did most of the household work. The country I chose is Germany. I chose this because my dad is of German assets. However, I am not blood to him, he is my stepfather, but I chose his family because he is my father figure and I would like to learn more based on his life and just of the German nationality overall. The main holidays in Germany are Januar is New Year's Day is the 1st and Epiphany is the 6th. In February, which is February, the 2nd is Candlemas and Groundhog's Day. The 14th is Valentine's Day, and February or March is when Mardi Gras happens. March, which is Mars, is International Women's Day, and that's the 8th. And St. Joseph's Day, which is the 19th, and Annunciation Day, which is the 25th. In April, the 1st is April Fool's, and the 2nd is Easter. Well, it depends on when it is on the calendar. And the 30th is Walpurgis Night, and May is pronounced Mai, and it happens, Father's Day happens in May. The 24th is St. John Baptist Day. June is Juni. The 27th is St. Swithin's Day, and in August, which is pronounced August, the 1st is Swiss National Day, and the 15th is Assumption Day, which is also a national day. September is pronounced September, and the 29th is Michaelmas Day, and Oktoberfest happens in September and lasts up to October. Also, Thanksgiving happens in September. October is pronounced October but spelled with a K instead of a C. And the 3rd is German Unity Day. 26th is National Day, which is Flag Day. 31st is Reformation Day, and Halloween. November is pronounced November, and the 1st is All Saints Day. 2nd is All Souls Day. 9th is Berlin Wall Day, Night of Broken Glass. December, the 4th is St. Barbara's Day, and this is a day they bring in cherry branches to bloom indoors, and I thought that was kind of cool. The 6th is St. Nicholas's Day. Children receive small gifts from St. Nicholas, but not Santa. The 24th is Christmas Eve, and the 25th is Christmas Day. 26th is Boxing Day, and 31st is New Year's Eve. The main foods eaten in Germany are Spatzel, which is a traditional Swabian egg noodle, which has eggs, flour, salt, and a hint of sparkling water. Bratwurst, they eat a lot of bratwurst and many recipes made with bratwurst. Currywurst, which is a bratwurst covered in ketchup and curry powder. They also eat boiled potatoes, oil, bacon, and onion, and it's fried together. Sauerbraten is a piece of beef that they eat with a lot of their meals. Maltachen is kinds of stuffing like pork or beef, or there's even a veggie option. They eat this snack, Leberkäse. It's a sausage sliced and placed on bread with a sweet mustard. And they eat Schnitzel, which is a thin sliced piece of veal meat covered with flour, egg, breadcrumbs, and deep fried. Rolladen, which is sliced beef put with some mustard, onions, ham, pickles, rolled in sauce. They also eat goulash, which is thick pieces of beef, slow cooked in a rich sauce, sometimes with red wine. The famous dress that they have is Lederhosen, which is leather breeches, short or knee-length leather breeches worn as a traditional garment in German-speaking countries. The Dirndl, which is an apron that contains a blouse and a ruffled skirt, and the Haferl, which is a leather or rubber-soled shoe. In conclusion, today I made you aware of some of the background information from my family heritage. I also made you aware of some of the German ways, including their holidays, their traditional foods, and typical style of dress. Thank you.
The culture of a nation is a set of beliefs, customs, and foods that people of the nation live by. National culture influences many people's lives, even people from other countries. A big reason the Czech Republic has such a unique culture is due to geographical reasons. The Czech Republic is a landlocked country in the western part of Europe. I interviewed my mother, whose grandma immigrated from the Czechoslovakian Republic to America, and she has been very close to her grandma for a long time. The Czech nation truly has a culture of its own. Czechoslovakian culture has specific characteristics like history, traditions, religion, and holidays. Some history behind the Czech Republic is that the Celtic people were followed by German people who left during the migration of nations in the 5th century. Slavic-speaking groups then made the nation their home just after the 6th century. Among them were Czechs in central Bohemia. The nation speaks the Slavic language. Not many roots have been transformed into English words, but many customs are still kept. The traditions of the Czech Republic are those of polka music, nutty crescents, and decorating Easter eggs. Even our school radio station still uses polka music as the main music genre. Other food traditions are a diet heavy with meat and potatoes, which is much like the appetite of many Americans today. Nutty crescents are also a main dessert that a lot of Americans enjoy during Christmas time. Christianity was and still is the main religion of the Czech Republic. When immigrants came to America, this was the main religion brought with them. This is a big reason why Christianity is the main religion of the United States. Even the church that I attend is named after Saint Cyril, which is a Czechoslovakian saint. Another saint is Saint Methodius, which is still another main person in today's churches. Holidays are a big part of Czechoslovakian culture. A couple main days are Christmas and Easter. According to Debbie, Czech people always have roasted turkey on Christmas Day. Debbie also said that her mom, grandma, and great-grandma always followed that tradition. Easter is also a very serious day in Czech culture. This is to do with the nation's main religion. In conclusion, Czechoslovakian culture is certainly a culture of its own and has made a huge impact on America as well. Things like history, traditions, religion, and holidays have really transformed the way our country and even my own family lives.